Hey, RealFam, how you doing? This is an unscripted episode of Sis Give Yourself Grace. It's unscripted because I just decided to just pick up the camera, take out my mic, and record this video. After a while of not sitting here with you, of course. And I'm just so excited to be sitting here. Yes, I'm excited because, one way or the other, I had to do this. I had to do this. And you know what? The start is not pretty, is not like it can be messy, but at the end of the day, we have to like start, right? Or continue. In my case, I'm continuing. Okay. Anyway, hope you're doing amazing, Real Fam. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, unscripted. So, what's on my mind today? Or can I just start with my gratitude moment? So my gratitude moment takes me back to my recent purchase of a car. I'm so grateful that I was able to buy myself a car. Obviously, I didn't do it alone. This was by the grace of God. And for that, I'm forever grateful. You know, I shared on my Instagram. Yeah, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I kind of share a lot there because I haven't been here for a while, but I'm here now. Let's not even go there, okay? So I did share that, success looks different amongst people, and something that might not mean the most to others means the most to some. For in my case, that achievement means a lot, and not because it's just another milestone, but because of my journey of life, where I've been, where I am now. And that to me says a lot about how grateful I am. And it says a lot about God's amazing work, God's amazing grace. Okay. What's on my mind or what's in my heart right now? So, what's in my heart right now is, a desire to just share my recent, I want to call it a blow up. And blow up, or should I call it my recent blow? And blow, I find myself in a situation where anxiousness or anxiety kicked in in a very, very huge way, to a point where it was uncontrollable for me. It was uncontrollable for me. And at that very moment, I'm not gonna say I lost it, but I feel like it really took power. So, for the past week, I'm not sure when you're watching this, but for a period of like almost a week, I had this feeling of anxiousness, and it really took a lot from me. For almost 4 days, I didn't feel joy because I kept having headaches. I kept, overthinking, wishing I could have done things differently, all of those things. And that was me being anxious, and it was not a very nice feeling, I must say. And I think that's also another reason why I just want to talk about it, because I don't want to find myself in that space anymore, or ever. Have I ever found myself in that space? Maybe, but not the same. I think this time around it was like, whoa, what is this? All right. But anyway, where am I going with this? I just want to, speak to someone who probably went through a similar thing, where you were anxious about something that you've done, and you wish you could have done it better. And I just want you to understand that, well, I don't know if you overcame that, or maybe you probably going through that now, but I just want us to have that conversation. And here's my view, and this is how I feel about it, and this is how I feel about it at this very moment. And I must say, I'm still obviously working through it. I don't think that it's something that can immediately go away, but it's a space that I refuse to stay in. I refuse to stay in that place. I refuse to stay in that place. And let me tell you what this place does. When you find yourself in that place, even how no, like even the things that even that your true self gets to disappear for a moment, and that's not great at all. Expressing yourself becomes difficult. That's not a nice thing, because imagine if you have to express yourself to probably people that don't know you or you don't know, and you fail to express yourself. Obviously, that first encounter to them will be like, okay, this is what we know. This is the kind of person that she is, and that's it. And they'll run with that. So it is true that first impressions last, because it's how you present yourself. All right. So I feel like that can really take away so much, and it's something that you don't need to dwell on much, or to beat yourself about. But the truth is, it does shift something. So how do we go back to fixing this? How do we try work it out? Number one, and this is me going back to that point, don't stay where you are. Number one, what's done is done. You can't change it. What happened a minute ago, you cannot change that minute, but you can only change this moment. So meaning what happened yesterday and didn't go right will not change. God will not rewind the time or the day and the moment for you to go and do it again. It's unfortunate. And I think I had to reinstill that to myself, to say, Nthabi, it's unfortunate that things happened the way they did, and you felt, horrible about it or not so great about it, but you can't go back to that moment. All you gotta do is go forward and move forward, right? And moving forward is you just acknowledging that, okay, I just had a low moment, and this is how I look at it, or how I can define it. Okay, what is this moment for me? It was a low moment of overthinking, of allowing my thoughts to overtake my emotions and the moment I was in, all of that. So yeah, that's how I feel right now. And I don't wish for you to be in this space. I really don't wish for you to be in that space. That's why I want to emphasize or re-emphasize that don't stay. Don't stay in that low moment. Whatever you're feeling, I don't know what you're going through at this moment. Whatever you're feeling, whatever pain, whatever guilt, whatever sadness you're feeling, whatever that is taking away your joy, please don't stay there. Don't stay there. Find a way to get out. This is me finding my way to get out, because I was like, "Whoo, girl." For almost a week of not being happy, having headaches, being in pain, crying. Yes, I cried. I cried so much. And actually, another thing that I did that I've never even done, that's why I even said that this feeling of anxiousness really was something I've never experienced, actually. I've never experienced, rather. I remember driving to work, and I remember just putting the music on like a full blast, and I screamed. I screamed. You know that feeling when you've got, we see this in movies a lot and all of that, way it's like someone is going crazy and then they just scream, or maybe a lot of voices are coming through your head and then you just scream. I had that moment. And all I could do was like, like I think I did it twice, to be exact, if not more. I did that. So where am I going with this, real fam? Please, whatever situation you find yourself in, don't stay there. Any situation you find yourself in, any situation that steals your joy, steals your peace, that makes you anxious, please don't stay there. And the other day, I was on TikTok, and I I kind of bumped into this video. I think, what's her name? Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins shared this video, and I just want to try play it. Hopefully you'll hear it. She asked the question, what is the root of anxiety? And yeah, let's listen to it. It would be nice to just share a clip there, but maybe for copyright issues it might be a problem. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna play it to you. You don't need to see the video itself. Okay.
Where does anxiety come?
So wait, so this is the video. If you want it, do comment. I'll send you the link. So I'm gonna play it. So obviously you will hear it. You don't need to see it.
Where does anxiety come from?
The quick version is you probably had trauma as a child that was unresolvable for you as a child. When we get trauma as children, we blame ourselves. There's a great saying that says if you abuse, neglect, or abandon a child, the child doesn't stop loving the parent, they stop loving themselves. And then that starts the split. And then we start judging, abandoning, blaming, and shaming ourselves from that point forward. And that split causes this sense of alarm that gets lodged in our body. And then because we don't want to feel that alarm in our body, we go up into our heads, which is the only place that a child can go because they're pretty powerless and they're in their environment, and they overthink. And that's a temporary escape. And then we train ourselves as children to overthink because that's the only safe places in our minds. That's really the basis of where this global anxiety kind of comes from in people. It's this unresolved trauma to this loop where there's alarm in our body. We make sense of it by making horrible thoughts in our mind, warnings, what ifs, worst case scenarios, which of course makes the alarm in the body worse, which of course makes the thoughts worse. And we get caught in this alarm anxiety cycle. And unless we see it, we can't get out of it.
Today, we are talking anxiety toolkit. How do you...
Yep. I think two things that were mentioned there, the overthinking and trying to make things up and it's like you in a way you thinking you think you're making sense of things, or you kind of like predicting how things should go and all of that. In actual fact, you are just messing up your mind because you miss out on being in the moment and just allowing yourself to do what you need to do at that very moment without really being too much in your head. And that's what I think I did. And yeah, so I mean, there's a couple of them that I kind of came across, but I think that's mainly what I kind of picked up and I thought I'd share. So RealFam, I think we can stop here. I think anxiety is a real thing, and as much as I thought it's something that wouldn't affect me, and I'm not saying that I'm inviting it. I'm not inviting it, but I felt it. And I know that it happens to the most of us, but obviously there has to be a way to deal with it. For me, I think it was a collection of a lot of things, because sometimes I doubt myself a little bit, and this is not because I do not believe in myself or I don't think I'm worthy or capable, but sometimes you get that low moment where you step in the room and and feel like, oh, okay, or questioning whether you belong. It happens, and this is me being honest. It happens, and I'm fighting that, and I think it's something that really needs to be worked on a lot. And yeah, I mean, I know I need to do a lot of self-work, and I just to be a bit vulnerable with you, I sometimes feel like my English is not great, or I don't articulate myself the best way possible. Sometimes I feel like, maybe I should, speak in a certain way. And sometimes if I'm in a room of people that I kind of think that they are like very articulate, I tend to feel a little bit, okay. And that is not great. But what am I doing about it? I'm doing something about it. I thought of getting someone or like some kind of a tutor to really help me to sharpen my English, and not just sharpen the English, but I don't know, just to be able to articulate and just, and I know that some, because I think I've mentioned this before, and the feedback that I got was, no, your English is fine. What are you worried about? But I guess that's me, and I know, But yeah, I just thought I should share that. I don't know what is that one thing that makes you feel insecure sometimes that you're dealing with, or yeah, I don't know what that low moment is in your life that takes away your joy. I would like to hear more about it. So do share your thoughts. I would really, really love to hear what you have to say. And who knows, some of the things that you share will maybe continue this conversation and talk about them. And of course, since we are talking about giving ourselves a grace, this is me realizing that honey, ooh, so like a honey. Honey, you're not giving yourself grace. You haven't been giving yourself grace, and it's not cute. So this is me giving myself grace to say that I acknowledge whatever that is happening in my life. I acknowledge the lows in my life. I acknowledge the work I need to do in order for me to be the best version of myself, as it's something that I wake up to doing each and every day. So yeah, and I give myself grace by understanding that it's okay not to always get it right, not to always figure it out. We don't have it all figured out anyway. So yeah. With that said, real fam, thank you so much for watching, for listening. I appreciate you, and may you always remember to make it today count, and don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself a bit of joy, claim that joy. The 4 days that I lost of not being joyful or being sad, I can never get those days back. I can never get those days back. So I don't want you to be like me or to do what I did. Don't lose out on those days, because imagine if the worst could have happened to me. And this is not me not speaking life to myself, but imagine if those 4 days were the main days where God says, my child, this is the life I've given you. This 4 days is for you to just prosper and, be the best of you. And I wasted them. Oh, I lose my life. Imagine dying angry. Like, I know I'm not even happy to make that example, but yeah, really, imagine that. Imagine the worst happening to you and you're not happy. I'm not saying you'll be all jolly and excited all the time, but I think just fight for joy and fight for peace. I think peace as well. Yeah. Okay, I'll leave it here. Love you lots, and do subscribe if you haven't. We are on 2,500 subscribers. Thanks to the bokeh videos that I posted. Yes, I posted shorts and you really loved them. I appreciate that, and you subscribe because of the bokeh, and I hope you'll stay because the World Cup is over and I won't be sharing more of that. I just hope that you'll stay. And big ups to the Buckets. Hey, big up to Springboks. I think they really taught us something. They really instilled something great in us to say, hey, no matter what's happening in our country, no matter the load shedding, the whatever corruptions that are happening, unemployment, hey, all of those things, crime and all of that, there's something to be hopeful for. And yeah, and I think each and every South African especially can really take something out of that. And more than anything, I think the resilience and the ability to just keep going, to not stop because you are tired, but to stop when you're done, even the wait was so hard for them, because I believe that they really fought this. And it's amazing how the last 3 games, they actually won by 1 point. So it shows you that giving up is not an option. You know, you just need that one, you know. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Love you lots. Mwah.